We are going to start right in the middle of our mat. Of course, we are joined by our friend, Mr. Christmas Tree, because it is the Christmas season. So we'll have some holiday vibes going as well. So let's come to the center of our mat, feet about hip width apart. Just take some time, look down at your feet, make sure they're positioned properly. The toes are facing forward, grounding down heavily through the soles of the feet. And then working our way up the chain, let's put a soft bend in the knees. Let's scoop the belly in toward the spine. Roll the shoulders back and down, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Good, and just take a moment to feel this powerful stance from sitting to standing. We feel the true power of mountain pose, reaching up through the crown, still stoic and strong. So just feel that surging through the body, gaining length from the soles of the feet up through the crown of the head. Good, and then from this place, let's take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, release all the air from the lungs. Good. Being mindful that we are stepping out of the world and into our yoga world, so we're not gonna keep our mind in the office and the answering emails, having phone conferences, problem solving. We're not doing any of that. We are simply standing, feeling the power in our stance and the lift, and breathing life, deliberate life into our bodies. Inhaling big through the nose, exhaling fully out through the mouth. Maybe setting an intention to use our breath like the tool that it is to drown out those inevitable distractions that will come in. We are going to use our breath to blow that away so we can stay sinking into our bodies, feeling our bodies. Speaking of feeling our bodies, from this place, let's take a big inhale, and as you do, soft bend in the knees. We're going to lift the shoulder blades up toward the ears. And on the exhale, release them down like heavy weights going down toward the floor. Good. Nice. And then as you're ready, next big inhale, soft bend in the knees, coming into a sun salutation. We reach the hands down, around, and up, grounding down heavily through the soles of the feet, but lifting up through our center. Shoulders relax. Turn sideways, see if you see me. And on the exhale, we're going to tuck the belly toward the spine, draw the hands down our center, and find a nice forward fold. Or maybe the hands stay at the tops of the thighs, especially if you have any back issues. You're going to bend the knees as much as you need to and press the hands into the tops of the thighs to protect your back or what you have left of it, right? Good. So we have a soft bend or a deep bend in the knees, hands supported on the thighs if we need that extra. Nice. And on the inhale, whether the hands are on the thighs or on the floor, on the inhale, we're just going to lift up through the chest, making the neck an extension of our spine. Try to find that line, flat back. Next, exhale, fold. Once again, deep bend, soft bend, hands on the thighs, whatever you like, dealer's choice. The next big inhale, let's go at it again. Big inhale, down, around, and up. See what you find here. Brand new in this moment. Reaching up through the fingertips, through our center. Maybe we get a little more length here, maybe not. Doesn't really matter. Just feel it. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, slow lift, half bend is what we call it. Exhale and fold. Good. Let's just hang out here a little bit. Again, if we have back issues, we're going to keep the hands on top of the thighs, soft bend in the knees. If we want to do a little more, let's grip the elbows here and let the elbows hang, and we'll allow gravity to bring some space into the spine. Just a couple breaths here. Maybe give your head a little yes and no shake. And then let's release the hands, tuck the belly toward the spine, ground down through the heels, and we'll very slowly roll up like a little broken wind-up doll, as slow as you can, even slower. Feel the vertebrae stacking as you very slowly lift up until the crown of the head is the last thing to reach the top. Good. Let's take a big inhale in and an exhale out. Nice. Adding on here, Let's bring our awareness to the crown of our head. This move I just call a shaking it loose. So we're going to start at the crown with slow neck circles, reaching the crown of the head up, relaxing the shoulders down. Good. Of course, if we feel any pain in this motion or any motions or poses or movements, we're going to do a little less and breathe a little more. But be mindful, we're talking about feeling our bodies. So there's a difference between that pain, ow feeling, and that stretch, ooh feeling. So just take some time to see if you can navigate that in your body using the breath. Change the direction of your circles. And then with that intention, let's go down the chain. We're gonna just start to circle the shoulders, belly to spine, circling the shoulders and the neck down. Reaching the crown of the head up so we don't compress the chin. Good. And then let's invite the hips into this party. So we're circling the hips, we're circling the shoulders or the thoracic spine, we're circling the neck or the cervical spine. Good. Just really oiling up our spine here all around. If you want to open your space here a little bit, have bigger space, you can do that. Good, and just take a couple breaths here, and this can be really intuitive. So anywhere you feel needs a little extra love today. Maybe your neck is fine, your shoulders are fine, but you really feel that in the hips, which if you've been sitting all day, you probably will. So we can give a little more intention, a little bit more love and care to the hips. But if the whole body is feeling it, then give it to the body. Give it to the body. Let's change the direction, a couple more breaths here. Blowing away those distractions in the mind when they come. Good, and then let's find ourselves back at center. Nice, and then as you're ready, we are gonna take the hands behind. Interlock them behind. Interlock, or you can grab your wrist, or if none of that is accessible to you today, you can just reach your fingertips down behind you. Put a soft bend in the knees. Imagine opening up the chest, so we're going to pinch the shoulder blades together and roll them down, lift up through the crown, keep the chin level with the floor, whether the hands are interlocked or not. Good, and we're opening up our front body here, so we're reversing all of this. Good. So stay right here for a couple breaths, keep pressing the palms of the hands down or your fingertips down, gently pinching the shoulder blades together. Slight arch of the back, the spine up toward the ceiling. Good, and then on the exhale, let's let that go very slowly, letting the hands come down to our sides. And then we'll come into a side bend. Big inhale, we'll take our favorite hand, I'm going with my right, big inhale, lift that hand up and over the ear into a deep side bend. Now we want to find a lifting up and an extending over, like we're lifting up and out of the hips, so it's not just like right? We want to protect every part of the body. So lift up and out of your roots, find that extension. And let's very slowly inhale and lift out. And exhale, we'll take it one more time. And I'm just using this hand to gently press into my hip. You can go there or not, your choice. Maybe we bind, maybe we just let that hand hang. No biggie. Good, as you're ready, big inhale up and lift. Exhale down. And we'll take it to the opposite side. As you're ready, big inhale, send the hand down, around and up. And exhale over. So maybe we let that hand just be loose. Maybe we pop it into the hip to deepen that side bend. Or maybe if we have the flexibility and the strength, mobility, maybe we want to find a bind. Your choice. Good, and very slowly inhale, lifting up through the rib cage, inhale up. Exhale, take it back. Your choice if you want to add on here. Inhale up. Exhale and unwind. Good, next big inhale, let's step the legs wide. I call this a lighthouse twist. We're going to turn the palms down, legs are wide, and on our exhale, big inhale, of course. On the exhale, we're going to very slowly turn the toes toward one side, drop the knees, and find a twist. Good, so checking in with our mobility here. Maybe you have a lot of mobility in the spine and you can look totally behind you as you rotate the rib cage behind. And maybe we're lacking a little mobility today at least. So we're kind of like here, we're still looking ahead. We can't really take a full twist. Doesn't really matter. Breathe through it. We're here to feel our body. So whatever you can do in this moment that is not sitting, it's great. It's great. So breathe through it, inhaling at center, exhaling, finding your version of the twist. We want to exhale, tuck the belly to spine, and then rotate the rib cage behind us or somewhere in between. Nice. So find that flow here using the breath, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Ooh, good. Gotta stay stable. Inhale, and then on the next exhale, whichever way your toes end up, we're going to drop those knees and then straighten that back knee. Now we're in a lunge. So check in with your space. We want to make sure that we're on railroad tracks and not a tightrope with the feet. So if you find that your back toes are right in line with your front heel, just walk it out to the side. Easy fix. Nice. And let's bring the hands to the waist here. So you might already feel that the hip flexor on that extended leg opening. This is a hip flexor stretch. Very good for sitting all day. So take some time to feel that happening. We're grounding down through the ball of the back foot, lifting up through the heels so we can engage that glute. A little bit of strength happening there. And then the front hip, we're gonna take it and just shift it back slightly. Not a big degree of movement, just so we can bring the hips more into alignment. Hands stay on the waist, big inhale. And then on the exhale, once again, we're gonna bend both knees. Take your time working it down. We're gonna go into a crescent lunge. Untuck your toes, the back toes. Bring the hands to the front knee, big inhale. We roll the shoulder back and down. And on the exhale, focusing on the front knee, we're gonna let that knee roll forward as far as it can so we can feel that hip flexor stretching even more. We're gonna make an intention to send those hips down toward the mat, press the front knee forward, and then just shimmy your heel out, your ankle out to make sure that your knees are in alignment here. Good, so just take some time to feel that sinking into that deep hip flexor opening. And this feels really, really opening on my left side. Good, and if you sometimes it can be really intense if you kind of want to back off and get back into it, back off and get back into it, you can do that too. Adding on, let's take our outside hand, same hand as the bent leg, to the outside of the hip, and then the opposite hand, the inside hand lifts up and over. Again, a side bend here, so we're getting deeper into that hip flexor. Nice, so send that shoulder down, lift the opposite hand up and over, reaching through the fingertips, feel the stretch. And then on the next exhale, we're gonna take that raised hand into a twist. So we're gonna bend that elbow and tuck it in on the outside of the knee to find a twist. So my hands are in prayer here. Turn sideways so you can see me. So elbow is tucked on the outside of the knee, hands are in prayer, press the palms into one another. Again, an intention to rotate the rib cage up. Nice. Sink into it, your version. Find your breath. Do a little less if we need to. And slowly exhale and unwind. Good. Now, here is the kicker. A little bit of strength here. We're trying to feel our bodies, right? So, challenge. Inhale big. On the exhale, we're going to slowly lift ourselves back up into a lunge. Woo-wee. Nice. I'm going to step forward because I got myself turned around. But this is where we were. So we're just going to look back up into that lunge, rotate the toes forward, and then find ourselves on the second side. Toes turn toward the opposite way. We bend both knees and then we stray in the back to find our lunge on this side. So check in. Make sure you find those railroad tracks, hands on the waist. Feel that hip opening on this side of the body. Shifting that front hip back just a touch so we can be more in alignment, more balance. Nothing wrong with working toward balance in everything we do. It may feel like you're doing less, but you're actually doing more. Good. All right, so as you're ready, let's very slowly on the exhale, trust ourselves, bend the knees, slow descent down. Slow descent down. Nice. Untuck the toes, hands on the front knee. Inhale big and roll the shoulders back and down. And then on the exhale, let's find our opening here. Sending the knee forward, allowing the hips to sink down. Good. Using our breath to sink into the body, we try to find that place between challenge and strain where we can feel that nice pull of the muscle as it stretches, but not too much to where it's like unbearable. And again, if you want to come out and come back in, if that's your jam today, I am with it. Nice, we're holding here. Adding on our side bend, let's drop the same hand as the front leg down on the outside of the hip. Opposite hand reaches up on an inhale, exhaling over. Good, find your side bend. Remember, we're lifting up and out of the roots, no sinking and collapsing. Find that strength to lift and the exhale to stretch. Good. And then we'll work into our twist on this side. So I think you got this, right? We're just gonna bend that elbow, bring it on the outside of that knee, palms of the hands press together, and we have an intention of rotating that rib cage up toward the ceiling, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Maybe bending that knee a little further more or a little less if we need a little less. Your choice. Good. Next, big exhale, unwind. We're gonna stay down here, so bring the hands toward the waist, and then we're gonna bring the knees into meet. Open the legs wide, sit the hips down. You know where we're going, right? Child's pose. We love child's pose. Hip opener, back stretcher, mind releaser. So tap in with the breath. Try to give me some big, deep belly breaths here. I tell all my students that big, deep belly breaths here in child's pose. Good. Shutting everything out and just coming back to the breath. Sometimes we have to keep coming back. And that's okay. That's why we call it a practice. So if you feel like, oh, I keep having to do this, that's okay. That means you're doing the work. All right, so let's stay here for a little longer. I'll stop talking. Good. And then as you're ready, let's press down through the palms of the hands to lift up through the chest. And on the exhale, we will walk the hands in toward our center. Bring the knees together. And let's come up on the knees for a half camel pose. So we're going to take one hand, your favorite hand goes to your tailbone, fingers pointing down like we're tucking them into a pocket. And the opposite hand, thumbs facing up. On the inhale, we're going to send it up. And on the exhale, pressing the pelvis forward. Belly to spine, and we're gonna find an arching of the spine as we reach the thumb up and behind, opening up the chest. Once again, opening up the hip flexors. Big inhale in. Slow exhale, let's slowly come out of it. And to work our way toward the other side, we take that opposite hand behind. Good, and then on the big inhale, we send thumbs up, we send the hand up and over the ear. Find your exhale, pressing the pelvis forward. Opening up the heart, relaxing the shoulders. Good, let's slowly on the next exhale come out. Nice, now we will combine it, full camel pose if we want to go there. If not, skip it. If we want to check out full camel pose, we can either bring both hands to the tail, that's level one, pressing the pelvis forward, or we can bring the hands to the heels. That's gonna open up the chest even more. So if it becomes too intense, come back up. It's okay, you're still getting the same stretch. So be honest with yourself, be kind to yourself, honor yourselves if you're feeling pain. We're not gaining anything by pushing through pain. So don't think that, don't do that. Honor yourself, give yourself a break. So wherever you are in this posture, find the breath. Sink into the body, find it, feel it. And then on the exhale, let's release. lifting up through the chest, belly to spine. And then we're gonna take it into puppy dog. So we got the front body opening. Let's get a little more to the back. So for puppy dog, I want you to walk your hips a little bit, or your knees, sorry, a little bit behind your hips. Good, and then we're gonna come down to the elbows, which should be right underneath the shoulders, allowing the chest to drop down toward the mat. Good, and then if we want to do more here, we're gonna slowly slide each hand away from each other, or away from our center rather, keeping the pelvis pointing up, so tucking that hip up, pointing the hip up toward the ceiling, reaching the chest down toward the mat. You can see this angle is a very, very good back stretch. So of course, if we need to, we can find ourselves somewhere in between, anywhere in between, wherever you are, find your breath, sink into the body, drown out those distractions. Give yourself the time you need to relax and feel those muscles lengthening. Good, and then as you're ready, very slowly lift up. We'll slide the hands back underneath, the elbows back underneath the shoulders if the arms were extended. Let's very slowly sit back onto the heels. Swing the legs around. If you're ready, let's bring the knees into chest, one knee, and then the other. Nice, let's get a little rocking side to side, a little back massage here, shoulders away from the ears. And then as you are ready, feel free to stay here if this feels really good. Kind of does. So if you need a little bit more love, we want to stay there and give our back a little extra love if it needs it. But if we're done with that, let's very slowly allow the feet to fall out down to the mat. Hands at our sides. Extend the legs long. Turn the palms up. And we rest in our final posture, Shavasana. Letting it all go and integrate in. Shavasana seems easy, but I've been told it could be the hardest yoga posture there is, because the goal in Shavasana is to be okay with doing absolutely nothing, to resist the urge to react to the sound over there, the voice you hear over there, the thoughts about whatever. We resist the urge to interact with any of those things. And we find the strength to be okay with not being involved. And we just breathe and we just be. So take some time to figure out what that means for you in this moment while you created the space, and let everything else go.